Hey, it's Kara from Lovely Etc. And today I'm going to show you the best and easiest way to clean stencils after use. I'm talking about cleaning the old paint off and also cleaning off any leftover adhesive. This is something that I get questions about a lot, and honestly until now I feel like I haven't had the best answer to give people because I really hate cleaning stencils. I think it is arguably the very worst part of any stenciling project, trying to clean the stencil when you're done. So today I decided to finally do some research, figure out what the potential best methods are, and put them to the test to find out once and for all what is the best way to clean stencils. So this test is going to have two parts. First, I'm going to test what helps remove the paint from stencils the best. Luckily I have lots of stencils to work with here because I've done lots of stenciling projects, and as I mentioned, I hate cleaning them, and so even though I do clean stencils during the project, as paint gets built up, you have to clean the stencil or the stencil lines will start to get really messy and gunky looking. Sadly, when I'm done with my projects, a lot of times I just put them away without cleaning off the paint. So I have tons of stencils here to use for my test. So the first part of the test is testing what removes the paint the best. And after doing some research online, I have a few contenders of materials I'm going to try. So first is what I have always used in the past, good old Blue Dawn dish soap. For stencils in the past, I have always used this in water and a scrub brush, and it does work. It gets stencils clean. However, I'm not going to say that it's particularly fast or easy, so I'm hoping to find something better. I also have some alcohol, regular rubbing alcohol, Goo Gone, which is really an adhesive remover, so I'm kind of thinking this is going to be better for the second part of the test where we test removing the spray adhesive. I also have Goof Off, which is slightly different, and I did have a reader on my blog tell me that this is really great for getting paint off of stencils, and it says it works on like everything. It says it's the miracle remover. And then finally I have a weird one, which is Murphy oil soap, which is usually used for cleaning wood, like wood furniture and wood floors, but I did see somebody recommend that this was actually strangely really great for getting paint off stencils, so again, let's give it a try. And now I'm going to head to my bathroom because I'm going to do the main actual test in the bathtub because I don't want all this stuff all over my table. I chose this large stencil which has been painted with a bunch of different bright colors of latex paint, and I used painter's tape to divide it into 5 kind of equal sections and used a Sharpie to label each section so I'd know which cleaner is going where. And then I just applied each cleaner to the right section and used a simple scrub brush to scrub each part around 10 seconds, I didn't time it, to see how well they cleaned it. And then to make sure each cleaner got a fair shot to show what it can do, I applied each one a second time and scraped with my little scraper and then rinsed everything off with some clean water. I also did a quick test on a small stencil that I had painted using acrylic craft paints. Latex paint and acrylic paint are the most common paints used for stenciling. Chalk paint's a lot like acrylic paint, so I wanted to be sure that I tested both types of paint, and I did this test basically the same way. Okay, so the first test is finished and I have definitive results. I was a little worried it was going to be kind of wishy-washy and who knows which one's really the best. No, it is very clear. There's a clear loser and a clear winner. And sadly, I'll go ahead and say the clear loser is the method I've been using all along, which is Dawn dish soap. I'm sorry, Dawn. I still trust you for many other things, but not for cleaning stencils. So let's see what the results look like. This is the after of my latex wall paint stencil, and it looks really sort of similar right now, but you can see up here in the top right corner, that's the Dawn dish soap where the most paint remains. Over here is our winner. This is Goof Off Household Cleaner. And like I said, in this picture, it looks like they're all sort of similar. However, from the experience of actually using it, the Goof Off worked way faster. As soon as I started doing a little bit of scrubbing, the paint was just falling right off. So that's definitely the winner. The other 3 cleaners that I used, Goo Gone, alcohol, and Murphy soap, all did work, and they all worked better than the Dawn dish soap. However, the Goof Off was just way better. And here's the smaller stencil that I cleaned that had been painted with acrylic craft paint. And I feel like it's a little bit easier on this stencil to see the actual results. You can see which is clearly the best and clearly the worst. So on this stencil, it's a tiny bit different from the other one in that Dawn is actually not the worst. So my method is not the absolute worst, but it's pretty close. So here we have Goo Gone is the worst, which is not surprising because it's supposed to be for removing adhesives and this is paint, not a surprise. Dawn, also not good. Alcohol, not good. The 2 best over here were Murphy's oil soap and goof off. And honestly, I think part of the reason the Murphy soap looks good is just because I accidentally gave it a smaller section when I was taping. Goof off was once again the very clear winner. So I can now say definitively that what I recommend for cleaning stencils, the thing that is the best, the easiest, the least elbow grease to use is Goof Off Household Cleaner. Okay, on to the second part of our test. The next part of the test is seeing which cleaner removes the sticky adhesive from the backs of stencils better. The reason this is important is because I recommend using a repositionable spray adhesive when you're painting with stencils for things like signs where you want the lines to be really crisp. And I've gotten tons of questions about how you get all the sticky residue off. Well, I have these two stencils still from some signs I made a while ago. As you can see, they also have the paint on them, but also on the back, they still have a sticky residue that I can feel just a bit. So I figured they would be perfect to test which cleaner works best for removing this sticky residue. Now I will say you can use the stencils again without getting the residue all the way off, but understandably a lot of people want to keep their stencils clean and in good condition. So let's see what works best. I did the second test the same way as the first, applying my 5 different cleaners, giving them a quick scrub, and seeing which one worked the best. So I'm really happy to report there's also a very clear winner in the adhesive removal test. And actually there was only one product that worked, period. Everything kind of made it better. They got all the crumbs and stuck stuff and a little bit of the adhesive off, but only one of the cleaners actually took all of the adhesive off the stencil, and now it feels completely smooth, completely as good as brand new. So, dun dun dun, the winner is Goo Gone, which makes sense. It is specifically formulated for removing adhesive, and it does. I think if I show you how the light hits each stencil, you'll be able to see how much cleaner the Goo Gone is. So this first little spot right here is the goof off. You can kind of see this rough texture where the light is reflecting unevenly. That's from the adhesive. So right here we have the Murphy's Oil Soap, which did smooth it a little, but it's definitely still tacky. Here is the alcohol, which really I thought might make a difference, but no, it's pretty bad. It's actually one of the worst. And the Dawn dish soap, which also didn't really do much of anything. And then our winner right here is the Goo Gone. You can see the difference in these two. This one's not smooth, that one is. It feels just as good as it looks. Completely smooth, completely clean. So the best cleaner for removing adhesive from stencils is definitely Goo Gone. I will say that Goof Off also makes a cleaner that's specifically for removing adhesive. I didn't have that one. So Goo Gone, awesome for removing adhesive. Goof Off Household, awesome for removing paint. And now I know that I'm gonna dread cleaning my stencils so much less. That's why I have all these stencils that haven't been cleaned, because I hated it and put it off. And now I know exactly what to use and the easiest way to do it, and I can just get it done. I'll be sure to put links to all of the supplies that I used today down in the video description, as well as links to some of the stencil projects that I've done before if you wanna check them out. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, Lovely Etc., where I share lots of inexpensive DIY ideas for creating a home that you love.